Hey guys, today I wanted to show you my physical TBR. These are books that I have been thrifting. I found them for just a few dollars at the thrift store because I love to justify buying books for just a few dollars so that they can sit in piles on my floor while I just read things that I borrow on the Libby app on my Kindle. Making this video, I will motivate myself to actually read some of these books that I have been thrifting. I do love the feel of like a good physical book as opposed to my Kindle. It's just, with the Kindle being portable, it just kind of makes sense. Also, I have a lot more books to show you than what I was holding up in the thumbnail. I just couldn't hold all of these books in the thumbnail because I have very weak wrist. So the first book I have to show you guys is called Here's to Us. This is an Elin Hilderbrand book. I'm sure you guys probably already know who Elin Hilderbrand is, but if you don't, she's kind of like marketed as the queen of summer. I've read probably like 7 or 8 of her books, and they can be very hit or miss. But what I will say about Elin Hilderbrand that I do really like is her characters are very memorable, they're very funny, and they always have like the most outlandish, unique names without being like over the top. And then also what I really like about them is that they're pretty feel good. I really like Elin Hilderbrand's social media presence because I think she does a really good job of marketing her books without being over the top and also shining light to other books, and I don't think she's annoying about it or in your face. What's really fun about her is that all of her book meetups, she has like a color theme. So if like you're coming to Orlando on this date, wear pink. If you're coming to Dallas on this date, wear blue. And I think that's a cool way to involve your community without asking too much of them. I just quickly read like the book jacket, and it seems like this is about 3 women who were all married to the same guy at some point. The guy is a celebrity chef, and he ends up dying on Nantucket. Most of her books do take place in Nantucket, and he ends up dying in Nantucket, and then these 3 women kind of have to get together to like sort out the mess. So Elin Hilderbrand, I've noticed in a lot of her books, she does a really great job of not pitting women against each other, and she does have a lot of plot devices like death and tragedy in her books without them being like the main thing. There's other plots as well, and they always serve a purpose. It's not just there. So here's to us. Here's to hoping I read you. The next book I have is another summer-oriented book, and this is called People We Meet on Vacation. I'm very late to this party. I feel like everyone's already read this. By Emily Henry. I've read 2 other Emily Henry books. I've read the one that came out last year, Book Lovers, which came out last year, and not a fan. And then I listened to the audiobook version of read, and I thought it was pretty decent. So it's about 2 people, one named Poppy, one named Alex. They have nothing in common, yet despite that, they're the best of friends. Every summer they take a vacation together. Everything seems to go well with that vacation until one summer it just goes horribly wrong, and then they don't talk. So this story is actually taking place in the summer where they're trying to like rekindle and rebuild their friendship, which I have a feeling is going to turn into a relationship because I think all of her books are romance. So just based on the description alone, I'm not really sure if I am going to like this or not. I don't really like books that are like inherently obvious, and this seems like it might be inherently obvious. And I've heard mixed reviews about this, so we'll see. Take a deep breath for this one. Alright, this is Ugly Love, which is by Colleen Hoover. I kind of bought this in like a moment of desperation at the thrift store. Like, I was having one of those days where I was like, I don't like Colleen Hoover. I know that. I've tried a few of her books to try and fit in, and every single time I end up just like obliterating the book in my mind. Like, this is so stupid. But when I saw this on the shelf, everyone had been talking about it. I think the trailer for It Ends With Us had just come out, and I was like, I just want to fit in. So I bought this book, and actually while I was in line checking out, some random woman came over to me, and she like kind of snorted at the book, and she was like, that's that book that from Book Talk that everyone's talking about, and like, let's normalize that. Let's normalize being judgmental to strangers. Like, that's cool. So I actually don't think I'm going to read this book because I haven't enjoyed the other books by Colleen Hoover that I've tried, and I'm just kind of over putting myself in a book slump and reading books just to hate the book. Like, what's the point of that? There's enough Colleen Hoover hatred on the internet. I don't really know that I need to add to this. But I did want to bring this up because I did want to take a guess on their names. So if you've never read a Colleen Hoover book, one of the most outlandish things about them, besides just the awful Lifetime movie plot storylines, is the names that she chooses for her characters. They're just outrageous. So I did want to take a guess. We're going to like play a game and see what the names are going to be. So I'm going to guess that the girl's name is Havensley and the guy's name is Toyota. Alright, let's see. Okay, so this is actually a pretty tame one, it seems. The guy's name is Miles, which is totally a normal name. You would absolutely find that at a keychain on a souvenir shop. But the girl's name is Tate. I don't know about that one. I have met a girl named Tately before, because much like Coho, I also live in Texas, and I also experience some names. Tate and Miles, that's actually pretty tame for her. But I don't think I'm going to be reading this one, especially because I think this is the one where they make some joke about how big their baby's balls are. So that was a waste of $3. Moving on. Our next book is called Get Happy, and it's a biography of Judy Garland. I know Judy Garland from Dorothy as the Wizard of Oz, but she had many other roles as well. And I don't know necessarily a lot about her background, except that she was exploited and heavily into drugs and basically like old Hollywood secrets. And Get Happy is kind of ironic because she's like famously known for being depressed. And okay, did you guys realize this? Like, am I just an idiot? I didn't realize that her daughter is Liza Minnelli. Like, I learned that like 2 weeks ago and I was like, whoa, I did not know that. So I always like a good biography. I have a feeling this is going to be kind of on the sadder side. It's really going to show us like how Hollywood does exploit people who have talent and kind of drive them into the ground. So it's a thick boy, but seems like there's a lot of groundwork to cover. The next book that we have here is called More Than You'll Ever Know. It's got the Good Morning America like reading club emblem on it, and I don't know about you guys, but like, and I know they do this to get people like me, but I am the type of consumer where if they have like the Reese Witherspoon or like the Reba Jenna or Good Morning America little emblem on it, I'm like, shit, I'll buy it. Like, I want to be a part of this discussion. Like, does anyone else have this underlying desire to fit in with the book world? Or is it just me? But basically, I am kind of hesitant to read this because I saw just recently that one of my friends read this and she posted about it on Goodreads, and she's a very nice girl and she rates books very nicely. And she gave it 3 stars, so I'm like, shoot, if she gave it 3 stars, what am I going to think about this? Because I'm highly critical with books. I don't know how to stop being highly critical with books. So, hopefully, here's fingers crossed on that one. Okay, so it seems like this book is about a woman named Lore who actually has 2 families, and the main plot line is that in her 2 husbands, one of the husbands murders the other husband. I guess they found out about each other. Lore telling her story to a true crime writer named Cassie, and then of course it seems like Cassie also has some secrets. So, I mean, it's kind of a basic plot. I definitely feel like I've read like a Jennifer Hillier book like this before, but here's to hoping that the writing at least is good. This might just be because I've read too many books that are kind of on the nose lately, but I do kind of hate that the main character's name is Lore and she has 2 husbands, because Lore, L-O-R-E, is very close to lure, like I lured them in, L-U-R-E. And I'm wondering if that's intentional, and if it is, I really hate that. On the nose writing is like the worst type of writing. The next book I have is an advanced reader's copy because from a Goodreads giveaway, and this is my first time to ever win a Goodreads giveaway, and that gave me faith that Goodreads actually lets people win, because I'm telling you guys, I enter these giveaways all the time and I never win anything. I'm nothing like the twin sister and the Honeymooners. I just never win. I'm a good person, so I only enter the giveaways of books I'm actually interested in. I don't just mass enter them all because, you know, I have dignity. So this is called The Intern. It's by Michele Campbell. It comes out on October 3rd of this year. It looks like it's going to be kind of like mysterious, thrillery. Ooh, Oh my gosh, guys. Her name is Maddie, spelled just like me. I feel like a Colleen Hoover character sometimes with how I spell Maddie, M-A-D-D-Y. And that's become more popularized because of Euphoria, but it used to be M-A-D-D-I-E. And every single time I'd be at like a souvenir shop, I was just like a Coho character. I was like, fine, I didn't want a stupid keychain with my name on it anyway. So we had some legal drama, and my husband, who actually is a lawyer, I can already tell you, would like obliterate this book. Basically, it follows our main character, Madison Maddie, and she is working for a judge, but Maddie's holding some secrets because her brother Danny is actually a criminal who goes in front of this judge that Maddie's working for. And Danny then accuses this judge of being corrupt, and Maddie has to realize, like, is Danny using her? Is the judge using her? Is no one using her? So it actually does sound pretty interesting. I'm sure that it's very Law and Order-esque in the fact that it's not actually accurate in legal jargon, and as someone who doesn't know much about the law and has no desire to know much about the law, and whenever my husband does talk to me about the law, I feel my eyes. I'm okay with that. So we have a YA book. This is by Jason Reynolds, and it's called Opposite of Always, and it follows our main character, Jack. Jack is like the uber cool kid. He's an athlete. He's the valedictorian, and he falls in love with a girl named Kate. Kate ends up dying, and then that should be the end of that, but Jack is actually given the opportunity to travel back in time and maybe like save Kate. So we'll see. That seems kind of gimmicky, but if it's done well, could be good. So the last book I have to show you guys is called The Hating Game by Sally Thorne. This is an enemies to lovers trope, and it takes place at work, so the corporate enemies to lovers. And it seems like they reach a boiling point, and then they discover that they don't actually hate each other. So it sounds kind of predictable, and I'm not really into romance, so why did I buy this? To fit in, that's why. So again, another one that I was influenced because I'm trying to be basic. So I don't know if I'll actually like this one, just given that it's predictable sounding. I don't really like romance. And also I heard that it's kind of smutty, and I don't really like smut books. It was made as a movie starring Lucy Hale, and I think it flopped, so I don't know that I'm going to be reading that one anytime soon, to be honest. Well, that is my book haul for today. I think I've like successfully talked myself out of reading most of the books I showed you guys. Do I even like reading? Oh shit, I hope I do, because it's been my personality since I was in the first grade. Well, thanks for watching. Hopefully in the next video I'll be able to actually go over some of these books that I read, and if not, I'll have other books to talk about. I'll see you guys next time. Bye!